Hi, happy you're here. Get comfy and let's get started. Sit at My Grave, Season 2, Reflections, Chapter 17. No? Haven't seen him? Alright. Henry darted around the crowd, falling behind Reed after finally hearing his voice in the crowd of people dancing and chatting in the club. Reed had been going around looking for Arden himself, and when that wasn't working, he ended up describing it to people, or straight up showing them a picture of him on his phone, but nothing was working, and Arden wasn't picking up his phone either. Hey, Reed said, walking up to two people talking by the bar. Have either of you seen a little guy? Black hair, blonde streaks, bull nose? Reed questioned them, causing them to halt their conversation. Yeah man, check this out. One guy with a sloppy grin said, showing his phone. I didn't get the whole thing, but there was a fight about to happen earlier or something. Here's the guy in the crowd, explained. What? Reed questioned, grabbing the phone, frying down with the blurry video. Yeah, it was crazy. Funniest thing I've seen all night. The man laughed, taking another drink. Hey, weren't you the dude on stage? You killed that, the other person chimed in. Yeah, thanks. Do you guys know where he went? Was he in the fight? Reed questioned, hanging the phone back. No clue. I don't even know where I'm going. I'm surprised the bartender hasn't cut me off yet, he answered, chuckling. Reed sighed in frustration. He thanked them once again before speeding off. Could have just vanished. What the heck? Reed said, frowning. Hey, the guys are waiting, Henry told him, grabbing his arm. Good for them! Reed spoke with over-enthused sarcasm. Come on, let's go. This is your night. Why are you here, not on stage? Or at least talking to the scout? Henry questioned, gently urging him back. Arden could be lost or something. He wouldn't have just left. He's not answering his phone. I have to go find him, Reed emphasized. Before darting off again. Reed, oh my gosh, come back! Henry called, stalking him just by the door. Why don't you call your mom or something? Let her figure out where he went. Henry negotiated, when speaking in a loud whisper to be heard over the bustle of the party, trying to stay in the corner just by the door close to each other. No, I'm not stressing her out with this. She's got enough to worry about. Look, I took him out, I'll find him, he confirmed, giving another slightly weary look around. Henry grabbed him again, staring at him, making him look at her, seeing the seriousness start to show in her features, her own patience wearing thin. Reed, we've all worked hard for this. We both know personally you have the most. Don't miss your night, just enjoy it. Let someone else worry about Arden for once. Henry tried to convince him. They stayed locked for a moment, looking into each other's eyes. She desperately wanted this for him, but still, he broke the contact, kissing her. Henry sighed into it, kissing back. She could tell just by his expression and body language he wasn't gonna stay, even if he didn't say anything. And knowing Reed, she knew he wouldn't have enjoyed the night, even if he did decide to stay. Not while he thought his younger brother was lost somewhere. I'm gonna drive around. It can't be far, Reed muttered. I'll walk out with you. Emery settled, nodding her head. On the inside, she was boiling. She wanted to yell at him. Biting her tongue was never something she usually did, but things were different for her and Reed, especially situations like these. She wasn't sure how long she could pretend to keep her cool, though. It was also frustrating when he did things like that, and for people that in her eyes didn't deserve it. Reed and Emery walked outside, the music behind them becoming muffled out in the night air. The street lights were on, some flickering around the club's building. A few people were sitting outside smoking and scrolling through their phones, while there were three guys talking loudly walking around the strip in front of the place. Hey man, yo! Someone called out to Reed. Yeah? Reed said, half distracted, frowning. You looking for someone too? I heard word get around. I think it's the same guy. A man, lightly slurring his speech, walked up to him. One of his buddies described Arden to him, making his eyes widen. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. You seen him? Reed questioned, intrigued. Yeah, I saw him. I wish you were there when I was after him. I was gonna beat that punk down. He scoffed, shaking his head. Emery arched her eyebrows in surprise. She looked at Reed, seeing as her smile slowly disappeared. What? He quizzed with a stiffer tone. That little punk? Yeah, I was gonna knock his lights out, he said proudly, laughing. Yeah, Ted doesn't mess around, his friends chimed in. Reed approached him closer. Emery saw his demeanor shift, his body slightly tense in preparation. She knew the side of him, but it didn't make it any less jarring seeing it suddenly. That punk you're talking about is my younger brother, Reed informed him in an ominous tone. Anger wasn't the first detection there. He somehow kept his nonchalant way of speaking, even while he held a threatening gaze in his eyes, looking over at Ted, slightly sizing him up, before meeting his eyes once again. Well, someone didn't give that chump any home training. When you're in front of a band, that child's attitude's gonna be punished, Ted threatened. Noticing the way Reed was looking at him, he got into stance as well, daring him to challenge him further. Is that right? Reed questioned, getting aggressive. That's right! Don't go following in his footsteps now, you won't like where you end up! Ted screamed his threats in his face. I'd be more concerned about where you're about to end up. Yeah? Ted questioned, shoving on Reed. Where's that, you sissy Ted began screaming again, but was abruptly cut off when Reed swung on him. His fist contacted with his nose perfectly, turning his body with sharp tension. A sound came immediately, a symphony of crunching and a squish. Ted! His friend shouted in shock, watching as Ted fell to the ground. His hands came up to hold his face once he shook out of the shock and pain began settling in. Ted began stuttering out a cry of slurred words together, unsure of what to say as he clung onto his nose, feeling his own warm blood in his hands, along with the sickening looseness from it. Threaten my brother again, and next time you won't be able to walk away, Reed warned him. Wetness collected at Ted's eyes, though he kept a furious look on his face, hands trembling while he held his crushed, bloodied nose. Ted cursed in pain as his friends rushed to help him now. Take your own advice next time, Reed bitterly spoke to him, glaring down at Ted before giving him one of his smarmy grins. Ted's friends began taking him away to check out the damages, while Amory left with Reed, getting to the passenger side of his car. She'd seen Reed in fights before. If he looked like he needed it, she would have gladly hopped in. He wouldn't like it, but she never cared. However, there was a moment he looked like he didn't need it, so she stayed out of it. There were other things on his mind she needed to talk with him about, however. Well, if those guys were still just looking for him, they obviously didn't do anything to him, so he must have left for something else, Emery said, turning her head towards him, almost answering the question she was sure Reed was asking in his own head. Well, where is he? Why'd he just dip like that? Reed questioned in frustration, gripping the steering wheel briefly. They weren't driving yet, but he was still fully prepared to go cruising around to look now. Reed put his phone to his ear, calling Arden again. Still no answer, no text back, nothing. In frustration, he put his phone down, running a hand through his hair. What the heck is he doing? Reed asked, almost as though he was talking to himself, his eyes gazing back out the dark parking lot. Reed was one of the more chill people Amory knew. He seemed so calm and sure of himself. But being with each other as much as they were, she could tell when he was worried, getting angry, and now anxious. She didn't like that he got worked up like this, but she did understand. He held a lot of burden from a very young age. Seen, did, and had things happen that he should have been protected from. With that, he took on responsibilities. Always felt like he had to fix something, regardless of circumstance. Emery's eyes flicked down, watching Reed gently plucking at his shirt, pointer and thumb pulling at the fabric, a tiny stretch before popping right back into place. Emery gently placed her hand over his, getting him out of his thoughts. He turned to look at her. I'm gonna go drive around. Come with me? Reed asked. No, Emery replied, pulling her hand back, shaking her head.